are strongly so against human knowledge?
Knowledge is something which is always incomplete, imperfect, and misleading. Knowledge is always wrong. What is not wrong cannot be knowledge.
How to become sick?
Yes, we violate ourselves.
We learn from society how to become sick.
Yes, society
How does
teaches
that
us. Because what the society is teaching us, society is teaching us that you have to pursue goals. You have to chase goals. Why should I chase goals? I should live my life. And somebody will like my work and give me something. The money I generate with my work or the name and fame and position that I generate with my work is all like a shadow. Why should I chase the shadow? The shadow should chase me. So I should live my life. I tell you something very interesting. There's a very famous statement by Einstein, who had once said that if you judge the value of a fish by its ability to climb the tree, then all its life the fish would believe that it was stupid. Everybody has got some innate possibility, some innate quality. So you pursue that and you become a legend in that. But no, somebody has told you that there's a lot of money in this field, and then you forget
You start
yourself.
chasing it.
And then you go in that field.
Beyond across the globe.
You see, it is birth. So is the whole humanity, you know that you know.
Welcome to this special edition of Med Talks by Dr. Anita in a proud collaboration with Effortless Health by Dr. Vipin Mishra. This episode is not just the start of a podcast, it's the launch of a shared mission, a vision to empower individuals across all walks of life with scientific, inclusive, and actionable health knowledge. Effortless Health isn't about simplifying medicine, it's about demystifying it so that even the illiterate, the unprivileged, the elderly, and the chronically unwell can feel confident in managing their health. It's about creating a health literate society, and today we begin that journey with one of the most accomplished minds in the modern endocrinology. It's an absolute honor to introduce Dr. Vipin Mishra, an internationally acclaimed endocrinologist, physician, academician, and a visionary whose work over the past 4 decades span clinical excellence, groundbreaking research, global academic leadership, and deeply impactful social service. Dr. Mishra currently serves as a senior consultant endocrinologist at Al-Zahra Hospital, Dubai, and has previously held esteemed positions at Zuleika Hospital, Dubai, where he led the comprehensive diabetes and endocrine care services for the region. Before relocating to UAE, he played a pivotal role in the establishment and advancement of diabetes and endocrinology services in Noida, where he treated thousands of patients and mentored young clinicians. His academic journey began at GSVM Medical College, Kanpur, where he served as a professor of medicine, which is one of India's most prestigious institutions. He was also associated with Fortis Hospital, Noida, where he provided expert endocrine care for several years. In addition, Dr. Mishra has contributed to healthcare administration at the national level, having served as medical superintendent and consultant endocrinologist at All India Institute of Medical Science in Delhi, playing a key role in its foundational growth. Beyond academic and hospitals, Dr. Mishra is a prolific researcher with over 170 scientific publications and a globally sought-after speaker, having delivered over 500 lectures across the globe. However, what truly sets Dr. Mishra apart is his unwavering commitment to social service. His initiative, Effortless Health, is deeply rooted in the philosophy that scientific health knowledge must be democratized, reaching to those who are often left behind by traditional healthcare system. He believes in engaging patients and the public through accessible education, community camps, school outreach programs, and media-driven health literacy. His aim is to create a healthier society, not just by treating disease, but by preventing it through awareness. So today, as we launch this collaboration between Med Talks by Dr. Anita and Effortless Health by Dr. Vipin Mishra, we are not just introducing a doctor, we are celebrating a change maker, an educator, and a visionary who has committed his life to ensuring that every individual, regardless of the background, has the tools to lead a healthy life. So, get ready for an inspiring conversation with Dr. Vipin Mishra, a name synonymous with global clinician excellence, compassionate science, and grassroots level health transformation. Dr. Vipin Mishra, thank you so much. Thank you for your support and coming to Med Talks by Dr.
Thank you
Anita.
very much. I'm so much honored. Thank you for a very nice introduction.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's pleasure. I'm glad you took out time to share such a extensive, vast knowledge
I
with
think it's
us.
my passion. It's my passion to talk about effortless health. It's a very unique health program,
Right.
and whenever possible, I talk about that, and I wish to educate people. Actually, the term educate people is some sort of a paradox because I feel that the problem is education and knowledge.
Oh my goodness, really? Education and knowledge is a problem.
That is
I
the
mean, why
problem.
you are strongly so against human knowledge?
Actually, I'm not against human knowledge, but knowledge is a double-edged sword. And knowledge is a very poor tool to navigate life through. Knowledge can never solve human problems, and knowledge can never be complete. So, to tell you something about how knowledge is created,
Right.
this proper creation of knowledge in segmented areas started about 2,000 years back in the times of Aristotle. Aristotle was the person who made and and charted different subjects under which knowledge would be created in future. And since then, for the last 2,000 years, researchers are creating knowledge, and still knowledge has not been completed. Knowledge is something which is always incomplete, imperfect, and misleading. So what happens that you know something, and the known domain is something like 10% or 15%, but the unknown domain is something like 90% or 85%.
What is that domain? I mean, unknown domain,
Domain
unknown
means
domain.
the knowledge about the cosmic reality. You know something like 10% of the whole cosmos, about the whole existence.
Okay.
But knowledge gives you a feeling that you know
100%.
100%.
True.
So it has to be misleading.
Right.
And so a lot of research is going on in medical science also. And as I remember, the first medical journals were created in 1600 something, so 1670. So for the last 350 years, they are creating medical knowledge in a very systematic way. But still, we are never nowhere close to the end point. Till now, we can never say that the process of knowledge accumulation has been completed.
Dr. Vipin, have you seen that movie Lucy?
No, I have not.
You know, in that movie, that lady, when she reaches the end of the knowledge, like she has all knowledge of the entire world, she becomes zero. She extinguishes. It's somewhere makes me feel about
Actually,
similar to that movie.
what I have felt that having 100% knowledge is impossible.
It's impossible.
100% knowledge is impossible because knowledge is hidden. The knowledge is invisible. And the knowledge is such at the highest level, which cannot be picked up by instruments. So to tell you something, I remember attending a meeting on diabetes, and there was some discussion going on, and I said something. It was in India, and I mean, some 13, 14 years back. So I said something that this is the guideline. So somebody corrected me, sir, you are wrong. This is the guideline of 2010.
Okay.
And now it is 2014. So new guidelines have come. So that is old knowledge, and that is obsolete. So I said, thank you very much for correcting me. But now I know that it takes 4 years to prove the knowledge wrong. So if it takes 4 years to prove some knowledge wrong, that 4 years from now, what you are saying would
That
also be
cannot-
wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you talk about 500 years, so after 500 years, everything will be wrong. So can you live a life today by the knowledge of 1525? What people knew before electricity was there, before Newton had made his invention, gravity was not known, lots of things were not known. By that knowledge, medical knowledge was abysmally low. Can you lead your life today by that knowledge? You will say
Absolutely
no.
no.
That knowledge was zero. So 500 years from now, this knowledge which you are talking about and many people are boasting about will be condemned. And in 2525, people will not know how we lived in 2025. They will say that they were living in a stone age because
true.
the knowledge was so rudimentary and so primitive.
Yeah.
So this will be proven wrong someday. Now, to summarize, knowledge is always wrong. What is not wrong cannot be knowledge. So knowledge is utilitarian. It serves some purpose. If you want to serve the society in a certain way, then you need the knowledge of that area. I wanted to be a doctor and serve the people with medical help. Then I needed this knowledge. Somebody wants to become an engineer and make machines and make buildings, then he needs that knowledge. So knowledge serves a very small purpose of life. It's all right, but it should not dominate your life. It should not consume your life. And if you start taking all your decisions of life by knowledge, then devastation is guaranteed.
So what do you think? How should we lead the life?
Intuition is what the whole planet is living on. All the creatures, except human beings, they live by intuition. And very early on, humans decided that we will not go by intuition.
But it can be wrong.
Intuition can be wrong only for human beings. But intuition is never wrong for animals and birds. They have been using their intuition and only intuition for the last thousands of years. To give you one example, there are birds in the Siberian region.
Right.
And every year they take up a flight, which is some 7,000 kilometers. And they come to places like India. And in India, during winters, people go for bird watching. So there are fantastic birds, beautiful birds who come to India, lay their eggs, and then with their newborns, when the cold weather has gone, they fly back to their native country. Now, they start their flight about 40 days before the heavy snowfall comes. And in those years, when the date of the heavy snowfall is changed, it goes ahead or comes early, then their flight time is also changed. Okay. 40 days in advance of that, they know that when the heavy snowfall is coming. Intuition is superb in animals and birds, but humans have systematically finished their intuition.
We have ourselves destroyed it, right?
We have ourselves destroyed it. Because, you see, something goes on in the society for hundreds of years and thousands of years, then it starts looking like a norm. Then you don't question it.
True.
Then you learn it. And you learn it means your parents force it on you. You have to learn it.
This is how the society works.
This is how the society works.
You have to go according to it.
So an individual who is born with a unique system, with a unique mind and unique possibilities hidden in him, becomes in due course of time just a member of the crowd. He merges with the crowd and becomes one with the crowd, and he learns many things from the crowd.
True.
And also he learns how to become sick.
How to become sick.
Yes. We violate ourselves.
We learn from society how to become sick.
Yes. Society teaches us. Because what the society is teaching us that you have to pursue goals. You have to chase goals. Why should I chase goals? I should live my life, and something will come to me. Somebody will like my work and give me something. So the money I generate with my work, or the name and fame and position that I generate with my work, is all like a shadow. Why should I chase the shadow? The shadow should chase me. So I should live my life. I tell you something very interesting. There's a very famous statement by Einstein, who had once said that if you judge the value of a fish by its ability to climb the tree, then all its life the fish would believe that it was stupid.
True.
So everybody has got some innate possibility, some innate quality. So you pursue that. And you become a legend in that. But no, somebody has told you that there's a lot of money in this field, and then you forget yourself.
Chasing it.
And then you go in that field. I'm reminded of a doctor who is from India or Pakistan, I don't remember. But he was working here as a GP, young doctor, something like 38 years of age. And then he must be earning a decent salary as a GP. But then came the boom of reality in Dubai. So the reality prices, they went up to the sky. And he became a property dealer.
The real estate industry.
A real estate. He went to...
A doctor became a real estate agent.
A doctor became a real estate agent. So that is how people forget themselves. So if you just remember who you are and what is possible by you, what is hidden inside you, then you do that. And I'm also reminded of the Socratic education system. Socrates had decided lots of things in those times, and for a long time, the education system ran the way Socrates had dreamed. So it was called Ilankas. The principle on which Socratic education system was based was called Ilankas. Ilankas means bring out from a person. So there's something hidden inside you.
That's what we have to
And
bring out.
I have to teach you in a way that your hidden talent comes out.
Right.
So I don't have to teach you anything. Every human being is talented in some area. So it has to be brought out. So,
Right.
so when you live your life for which the Almighty has created you, it is effortless.
So we follow the society and we get diseased?
100%. 100%. Because they are all artificial people. They do not know for what reason were they created. They are following others, and those others were following
someone else. We keep
and
following.
then they forced you, this is good, you should do this, without realizing whether it is really good or bad. So,
Right.
so the society is corrupted with knowledge. So there is a lot of knowledge about healthy food. There's nothing like a healthy food or unhealthy food. It is just food. If you like it, you eat it. It's so simple.
True. But then how society can lead to developing a disease? How does this work?
I tell you what happens, that diseases are generated in the mind.
Disease is generated in the mind.
All diseases are generated in the mind. And the mind works at 3 levels. Firstly, mind gives you emotions. So there are lots of emotions which humans go through. There is a happiness, and there is a sadness, and there is insecurity, there is anger, and lots of that. And every emotion is actually a chemical. You call it a emotion, but it is at the
It's actually a
physical
chemical.
level. It's a emotion. It's a chemical called a neuropeptide. So depending upon your personality, you develop a neuropeptide secretory pattern. So that neuropeptide secretory pattern ultimately changes your blood chemistry in a particular way. And the blood chemistry all the time interacts with the genome. So this subject is called epigenetics. Because if somebody says that I had diabetes in the family, my father had diabetes and mother had diabetes, so I developed diabetes at the age of 40 years. Nobody asked the question, why you did not develop diabetes before 40 years. So the same genome which saved you for 4 decades, and now you are making it like the villain, look like a villain.
Like
it caused you the
genetic villain.
disease. No.
True.
What happened? That in these 40 years, your mind changed your blood chemistry to that critical level that the altered blood chemistry, they took out the hidden disease in the genome. So now people are asking this question, that if diabetes could remain hidden in the genome for 40 years, then why not 100 years? And there's a lot of research going on in this the field of epigenetics. So I attended a program, a conference on nutrigenomics. Nutrigenomics means that nutrition can be altered in a way, because every nutrient is actually a chemical also.
Right.
So it alters your blood chemistry. So the most important agent which changes your blood chemistry is food.
Food that we
So
eat.
you change your food, and the whole chemistry is changed. But you do not know how to change the food, what to eat and what not to eat. But yes, as a basic principle, if food is altered, then your blood chemistry is altered. And altered blood chemistry will interact differently with the genome, silencing some genes or extracting diseases from some genes. So if the genome, the pathogenic genes are silenced, then yes, diabetes can be put to rest for 100 years. It can remain hidden within.
So nutrition plays a role where we can still control the disease. It still works.
100%. I have 15 points in my program. All those 15 points make a change in the blood chemistry.
Let's keep suspense. I want this
Yeah.
program to be a suspense
Yeah.
for our audience. We have to get into the minute details before we give the surprise of our 15 points program, Effortless Health program, to our audience. So food plays a very important role. Nutrition plays an important role in controlling disease.
In my program, that is number one point.
Wonderful, wonderful. But then again, coming back to the same question, our first question: how society, how mind develops a disease? So you're going against your emotions, you mean to say?
So the first thing I told you the mind does is altering emotions. The second thing that mind does is lifestyle choices. So somebody gets up early in the morning and goes for a round of jogging. So he runs about 6 kilometers. And at the same time, somebody else gets up in the morning and reads newspapers over 2 or 3 cups of tea and maybe 3 cigarettes. So these lifestyle choices are also generated in the mind. So the second thing that mind does, it generates some lifestyle choices. What food will the person eat? What activities will he engage in? When will he sleep? When will he wake up? All these things, they are decided by the mind.
Our mind decides that.
Mind decides everything. Actually, the human entity is only the mind, nothing else. Body is nothing. Body is just a shadow of the mind. Mind is everything.
True.
Mind is your... Actually, when we go further and we discuss how the human system works and how human beings come into existence, it is because of the mind that human beings come into existence. And actually, why I developed my program, I tell you that I discuss about my thoughts on pathogenesis of diseases with lots of doctors of India and different other countries. They were impressed by my ideas, but they said that you can't present it in a conference or in a journal because there's not science. There's not science. I know.
Not everything is science.
Yeah, science is not just an idea. Science is data. Science is data. If I have a hypothesis, then I should back it up with some data.
True.
If there's no data, then it will not be acceptable.
But then who made science? Who has created this
there's
data?
a community of scientists. There's a community of scientists.
That's limited, right?
Limited means it's a very big size. So there's the research is going on in every field, in every possible field, whether it's medical science, and in medicine there are 30, 40 branches. In every branch, a lot of research is going on. Automobile industry, computer industry, artificial intelligence industry, lots of industry, food industry. You see, there is a troika. There's a troika which is working. In every field, there are some people who are innovators, who are like path breaking. They will create something new. Then there is industry. Industry says that you create something new and we will sell it in the whole world. And there is a hungry society all over the globe. So they say that you bring something new and we will consume it. We are ready to consume that.
True.
Have you not seen the queue which lines up for the latest version of iPhone?
Oh my goodness, yes.
So you bring something new and I'm hungry to take it. So this troika makes the people be misguided. They don't know what is their requirement, what the body needs, what the mind needs. And they violate themselves.
We're just following the crowd.
They follow the crowd, number one, and they don't follow themselves.
Very true.
So that's why I had to come up with my own idea. And I'm writing a book. So for writing a book, I don't need the data. And you see, I'm not against data. But the problem is that when I will explain to you what is the program and how does the program work. So it's all about making the person free from emotions, ultimately. Because the finest thing which causes diseases is emotion. And to that extent, happiness is as much a disease as sadness. And this is a childish attitude. A person becomes happy and a person becomes sad. This is just a childish attitude. Just like a child, you give him a plastic toy and the child will start jumping with joy. So you give a person a new Mercedes, he will start jumping with joy, just like a child. So There's no reason why any external thing should affect my internal reality. I'm complete within myself. So
True.
if I know that I'm complete within myself, then I become immune from all these external things affecting my inner reality.
Inner reality.
And when emotions are finished, the basic disease generating process is finished, then your intuition is purified. Your intuition was impure because of lots of things going on in the mind.
True.
The mind has been silenced. My work is something like Sadhguru's work, who talks about inner engineering. This is also inner engineering, but I'm following a much different route for that.
True. So you mean to say that all diseases essentially are created in human mind?
100%. And the third thing, how mind creates diseases is by altering the environment. So environment includes your air, your water, the sound, and everything else that surrounds you, and also the food that you eat. Do you know that the food that we are eating, 100% of that is chemically treated? Either it is the insecticides or pesticides or preservative agents or coloring agents or refining agents. The process of refining is very, very toxic.
True.
I remember once I delivered a talk on diabetes, and I was reading the literature, and I came across that the refining of wheat flour is converted into white wheat flour, which is called
The white
maida
maida.
in India.
Right.
So in the process of that refining, a chemical is left in the white wheat flour, which is diabetogenic, which damages the beta cells. So I inquired about that, but the answer I got was that the quantity is so small that it is not dangerous. But yes, the process of refining is heavily toxic. So everything that you are eating is chemically treated.
But then what about organic stuff? You see the
Organic
counters,
is much better.
counters are stuffed with organic
No,
food.
no, 100% agree with you. Organic is much, much better. But how much is organic food is available? How many people are eating organic? That is the point.
True.
It is available to very few. And then, is it really organic?
Is it really organic? Biggest question.
Who knows that?
Who knows that? Is there any way?
No, but I'm not interested. I'm not interested because I know the human entity is essentially a transient entity. So we come in the arena and we leave the arena. So it is totally unimportant what kills me. I die of this chemically treated food, or I die of some diabetic complication, or I die of a accident.
We have to go at the end of the day.
I'm not interested in that, because this is again a very childish discussion. So you are leaving Dubai. So whether it is a great honor to leave by exit 61 or 62, I mean, it is just like a childish discussion.
Right.
So and then, I mean, in my book there is a chapter on death also, because death is a very important aspect of life. If we do not know about death, then we cannot know about life.
It's really making more interesting. I cannot wait for your book to be released, honestly.
My book will come by the end of the year.
Wonderful.
It is called Effortless Health.
I'm extremely excited about it.
Yeah,
But then, Dr. Mishra, what is exactly this unseemingly difficult concept of effortless health? This concept. I mean, I don't want to get into the points.
Yeah.
I know we have to keep it a suspense for our audience for our next shows. But just an overview. What is it exactly about?
It is exactly that you do what you feel like doing. I feel like doing this program, I'm doing it. When I feel hungry, I eat. I read a story about a saint who was living on the banks of the river Ganges. And somebody asked him, what is the summary of your teachings? Can you tell us? He had become very old, and it was expected that he will die very soon. So that saint said, the summary is very simple. I eat when I feel hungry, and I drink water when I feel thirsty. I walk when I feel like walking, and I take rest when I feel like resting, and I sleep when I feel like sleeping. He said that life is so simple, You don't need knowledge to live it, but definitely you need knowledge to spoil it. So life is so simple.
You need knowledge to spoil it.
100%.
Statement.
Knowledge will dissect the reality into two parts. This is the good part. So, I mean, you talk about food. Knowledge has dissected it into two parts. This is good food and this is bad food. So you will eat only the good food. And if your taste buds are like forcing you to eat the bad food, then you will feel guilty. And if you are very strong willpowered and you are eating the good food, then you will feel somewhat arrogant because you are doing what other like lower level humans are not able to do. So this arrogance and that guilt are both creating your diseases. That is how aging occurs, and that is how chronic diseases develop. So I will discuss all that in detail in my book.
This is so exciting. I mean, guys, have you ever seen any doctor talking about you can eat whatever you want, you can do whatever you do? I mean, this is so exciting, honestly. And then have you ever heard a doctor saying that disease gets created first in mind? I'm really numbed. I'm waiting for this book, honestly.
Actually, people feel that mind is something different from the body. No, mind and body is the same thing. It's like one reality. So I'm wearing this jacket. So there is outer aspect of the jacket, and there's also the inner aspect of the jacket. So I cannot say that the outer aspect of the jacket is different from the inner aspect. So they're like two sides of the same coin. It is one organic entity, the human entity. So the invisible part of the body is called the mind, and the visible part of the mind is called the body. So it is just one entity. So, and everything that happens in the mind is translated onto the body. So I'll give you some easily understandable example. If you go out of this building and on the road you see somebody firing on some other people with revolver, although in Dubai such scenes are not expected. They are not possible. But if you see that, then you will be horrified. And you will be horrified and your heartbeat will become very fast. Tachycardia.
Right.
Now, the horror and the scare was in the mind. It was not in the heart. But why did the heart start? It started beating fast. Because the mind is intricately related with the rest of the body. And there's something known as the autonomic nervous system. Right. The autonomic nervous system is autonomous. I mean, you have no control on that.
It's automatic, yes.
So it secretes adrenaline whenever there is some scaring situation, and adrenaline makes the heart beat faster. So it's all interconnected. So something happens in the mind is essentially translated onto the body.
That's why you call stress is poison.
Stress is poison, 100%. And so what I'm saying, because stress is generally considered something negative.
Again, an emotion.
I'm saying that happiness is also a stress. Why happy? What is the reason? If somebody gives me a gift and I become happy, I was complete before the gift, I'm complete after the gift. So what change in me has the gift made? So
it's external.
Huh?
It's external. It's just external.
It is external. Everything
and I'm
is
letting
external.
that affect my mind to create emotions that can somewhere alter my
Actually,
health.
I allow the external things to affect my mind. If I don't allow it, there's no possibility. There's no possibility of anything happening in my society or in my family affecting me. No, if I do not allow, nothing can affect me.
Very true. How do we disconnect?
We don't actually disconnect because I'm living in the same society and I'm interacting with people and lots of patients. And actually, a lot of things I've learned from my patients. And it happens with every doctor that I've seen something around more than 250,000 patients in my entire life.
Wow, more than 4 decades of experience.
Yeah, more than 4 decades, both in India and now 10 years in Dubai. And thanks to my working in Dubai, I have seen patients from various countries, from Middle East and from African countries and Europe and US and UK and lots of places. So ultimately, what I have realized that People have got their own ideas about life, and something which is not happening according to their idea, they get upset on that. And something happening according to their ideas, they feel excited on that. So I tell them that think about it. Think about it. Something is happening in your external world. Why are you connecting to that? So I see patients and I do a lot of hospital work and I deliver lectures and conferences, but I'm not affected by that. So there's no real disconnect. You live in the same society, you interact with people, but so that is the consciousness which I call an exalted consciousness. An exalted consciousness.
What does that mean?
Exalted consciousness means you see the reality around you differently. And also some people call it a super consciousness, and some people call it a spiritual change. But all these are just words. You can call it by any. But yes, exalted consciousness is really possible, and is possible for every human being, and is possible by leading the same life which you are leading. It doesn't require going to Himalayas or going to some monastery and doing something special about that. And the life that you are leading, you call it a normal life. No life is a normal life. Every life is an individualized, custom-made, special life.
Custom-made special life.
Custom-made.
Okay.
Oh, it is
we
fantastic.
have ourselves customized it.
Actually, so our lives are governed by a law. The law is called the law of karma. It's a great law. And people have generally not understood what is the meaning of law of karma. It is as strong a law as the law of gravity. Nobody can escape the law of gravity, and nobody can also escape the law of karma. And it gives you immense freedom. Actually, you are under shackles of the society, and you have to do lots of things because of lots of people, family members and relatives and friends and employers, and lots of people are there around you, and you have to do lots of things because of them. Yeah, and you feel that you are under a lot of pressure. But actually the key is in our hands. When you realize that all that was happening because of you and nobody else, actually the human mind creates realities. And when you realize that it was your mind which was creating realities, and you bring that mind to a standstill situation, and all that, the chain of karma, you can block.
It's in our hand.
It is in our hands. So that gives you so much of freedom. Then you thank the Lord that everything was happening according to that law, and the key was available to me, which I did not know. I was blaming others. So there's a blame game going on. So I have problems. Husband has a problem. It is because of the wife.
Because of the wife.
And the wife has a problem. It's because of the husband. No. It is because of the person himself or herself.
True. Where is our healthcare system heading, Dr. Vipin Mishra?
Healthcare system is going in the direction of newer and newer molecules. And so do you know that most of the research is funded by the pharma companies? Pharma companies who are making newer molecules, they are funding the research which is happening, and more and more newer molecules are being produced every day, and we are using it. Do you know that there is a weight loss medicine which is available known as Mounjaro? Mounjaro is a craze. I am seeing at least 10 to 12 patients every week who come to me just for Mounjaro. Just for a prescription of Mounjaro. Because they have read it on the social media. There is a miracle molecule. And this miracle molecule is making people thin like never before. And one of my patients said, Doctor, you can't understand my happiness. She's 62, a Lebanese lady. And she said, you can't understand. She lost 28 kilograms. And she said that now I'm wearing my marriage clothes at the age of 62. So our research is going on in the field of more and more molecules. So molecules can never solve the problem of human health. They're all very strong chemicals, and no chemical is without adverse effects.
But my question arises here. Monjaro makes you lose weight. Weight is the
And
cause
it is
of
also
many
a
diseases.
anti-diabetic medicine
But then, is the diabetes because of that weight?
to a great extent. In type 2 diabetes, weight is a very, very important pathogenic mechanism because weight causes insulin resistance. So type 2 diabetes is not as much because of insulin deficiency as it is because of insulin resistance. So the more weight is there, the more insulin resistance is there. So weight reduction is indeed good.
So, for example, 10 people who have undergone weight loss due to, Monjaro, for example, still if 2 people get diabetes, what do you think? What's the reason?
No. There is no molecule which is a panacea. No molecule is a panacea which will guarantee that after using this molecule, you will never have a disease. No. I mean, basically, I have been born to die. So when death is imminent, you see, many people are confused. What is the cause of death? The cause of death is not disease. The cause of death is birth. So someone who has been born will ultimately die. So just like birth has a certain mechanism, there's a fertilization of the ovum by the man's sperm. Then there is a 9 months phase of intrauterine proliferation and differentiation. And it's a fantastic process.
Beautiful.
The process of the development of an embryo is a great piece of engineering, maybe the greatest on this planet, which is possible. So we'll talk about that someday. Then there is delivery, and that is birth. So there is a process. Similarly, there is a process of death. There is a process of death which includes the aging process. At some point of time, development of chronic diseases, which may remain for maybe 5 years or they may remain for 50 years, depending upon how healthy the person has been. And then there are acute complications and some organ failure, and then there is death.
Alas.
So simple. So when I know that I'm going to die, and there's the reason why I was born, then why should I be looking for a panacea? Why should I be looking for some molecule to solve all my problems? Then how will I die? Now, one more thing, which is very important, that if I know that I have to die, then to whom have I given that responsibility of my death? Is a very important responsibility. I cannot give it to anybody else. So, just like I have to ensure a good life, I have to also ensure a good death. So in many of my lectures on diabetes, I have discussed this thing. Everybody talks about the quality of life. So in my lectures, I also talk about the quality of death. You know how animals and birds die?
No.
So animals, they die of one single reason, and that is old age.
They always age and
Yeah,
die.
if not predated. I mean, predation is one way in which smaller animals can be killed by bigger animals. So that is just like we cutting cauliflower in our garden. So
you relate it to eating non-veg? Cutting a cauliflower and cutting a...
cauliflower is just like a lion killing a deer. Yeah.
Okay.
Cauliflower is food for me. Deer is food for the lion. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong in that. So if the deer is not killed by a lion or a tiger, then every animal completes its full lifespan. And then by the end of the lifespan, the animal tends to become slower and slower in movement. The appetite goes down. Then one day he closes his eyes and leaves and finished. And this happens precisely at the completion of its lifespan. And what do they do for that? Nothing. They simply enjoy their life. So that's what I'm teaching human beings. That the only thing which I expect from you is to enjoy your life 100% unconditionally. You enjoy your life to the hilt 100% unconditionally. But no, people don't do that. People postpone that. People say, no, I will enjoy someday.
I'll do it
I will
tomorrow.
enjoy, but I'm waiting for my promotion. I will enjoy when I develop a bank balance of 10 million. So everybody has got a...
Best of luck.
So they are involved in some petty objectives and they miss the grand celebration that life is.
Dr. Mishra, last time you mentioned about thought therapy. What exactly is this thought therapy? How does it work?
Yeah. So when we will go through our program, there are two parts in my program. One is the actionable part, which is a 15-point program, which is actually a detox program. And that detox program shifts the person from a knowledge-based consciousness orientation to intuitive consciousness orientation. So basically, it's a very complex thing that whatever we are discussing here is also some sort of a knowledge. So now people will know that, yes, now we know that emotions cause diseases, and so lots of things they will know from our podcast. So there's also some sort of an alternative knowledge. It's very difficult to come out of the web of knowledge. There's a web of knowledge which entangles us, and very difficult to come out of that. So I have the second part of my program. The first part is the 15-part actionable program, which is a detox program. The second part is the thought therapy sessions. Thought therapy means that I will discuss with you an alternative viewpoint. I see life in a different way. That is an alternative viewpoint. So there are three things. One is the emotion. And every emotion is in contact with a certain thought. And then there are real life situations. So there's a troika, and the real life situations are affecting your emotions, and thoughts are sitting in the close vicinity. So I cannot change your real life situation. If you are living in a certain situation, working in a certain atmosphere which is toxic, so I cannot change that.
True.
And I also cannot do anything directly to your emotions. I cannot transfer my happiness to you.
True.
I cannot also not transfer my anxiety to you. But yes, I can do something with the third entity, the thought. So how it is related? So old people should be respected by the younger generation. This is a thought. Why should they respect the older generation? I mean, what great thing has the older generation done, except for corrupting their lives and corrupting their minds? What good thing has the older generation done to
younger ones
get respect from the younger ones? But yes, it's a very widespread thought that you should respect the older people. When older people feel that this is our right to get respect from the, because this is such a dominant thought in the minds of most people. No, nobody can demand respect. But yes, if this dogmatic thought has gone very deep in my system, in my mind and soul, then somebody half of my age and talking rudely to me, I'll feel bad. I'll feel sad. Sadness is an emotion, but that emotion was related to this thought.
True.
So if I change this thought with another thought, that the relationship between two people is essentially dependent on the personalities of both of them, and it is transient and temporary. So there is a person whom I like too much, and I will automatically have a respect for him. So it is spontaneous. The respect developing spontaneously should be the norm.
It's actually the real
It cannot be demanded. So if I replace the older thought with this thought, then somebody not respecting me will not hurt me, because I will know that it is his right. So he is not impressed by me, and so why should he respect me just because of my white hair? I mean, this is a useless thought. So thought therapy means I cannot touch your emotions directly. I cannot touch your real life situation directly, but I can touch the thought. And the thoughts and the emotions, they are juxtaposed. They are like opposing each other. So when thoughts are they form the interface between your emotions, and on your emotions depend your actions, your behavior, your lifestyle, everything.
True.
So on one hand, thought therapy changes your emotional status because internally it is connected to that, and externally it changes your lifestyle and your behavior because yes, externally it is related to that.
Wonderful. It's a beautiful concept.
It's a very powerful way of tackling human lives and human diseases and human destinies.
Emotions. So, Dr. Mishra, what inspired you to develop this program of Effortless Health?
Yeah. So I was very inquisitive about the basic pathogenesis of diseases.
Like how disease develops.
Yeah, how disease develop. And diabetes is our most important disease in endocrinology. So diabetes inspired me most, and we see lots of diabetes patients and attend lots of diabetes conferences and deliver lectures on that. So when you talk about what causes diabetes, then they will come with the standard narrative of insulin resistance and insulin deficiency. So, but then what causes insulin resistance? Then bad quality eating and stress and lack of exercise, sedentary life, and all those things.
Etc.
But then the basic question is, why does only human being eat bad quality food? And why does only human being go into stress? Why does only human being lead a sedentary life, which is not good for it? Is there something going on in the mind of the human being, like it is insane or something? So those questions are not answered. So then a lot of diabetes depends upon genetic factors, especially type 2 diabetes. I mean, in type 2 diabetes, it is generally thought that it is about 95% because of genes. So I don't agree with that. But yes, that is the usual narrative. So my question is, why did I get the genes that I actually got? So who decided where I should be born? So these questions were very irritating to the various professors from India and different other countries. And this was like considered out of the realm of knowledge and out of the realm of medical science. But these are very important questions. So if genes decide everything, then my destiny was sealed on the day I was born. Okay. And why I was born in a particular family is all random, is all chaotic. So these answers were not there in the medical field. But they are available. They are available in Bhagavad Gita. They are available in Upanishads. So I went into Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads and I found the answers. So now the story is complete. The jigsaw puzzle has been solved. It has been sorted. So I got my answers. Now, the scientific community will not accept that.
This. Yes.
So they will say, no, Bhagavad Gita unacceptable. So either you say that whatever Lord Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita is all a bunch of lies. He was all, because there's no publication on that.
Right.
Because it's not given in the journals. It's not given in the books. So you say that all that he said in Bhagavad Gita is all false. I don't think that people evolve to that level. So I feel that Krishna consciousness is the highest level of consciousness. And I'm talking about that because my program also talks about human consciousness. And I've discussed with you the exalted consciousness, which I'm aiming through this program. So Krishna was at the highest level of possibility of human consciousness. He was like merged into the Shiva element. Now, there is no reason why Krishna will misguide anybody, will tell any lie. So I accept Lord Krishna 100%. And all the answers are so logically fitting into the jigsaw puzzle, and the puzzle is getting solved. So human beings decide their next life, but subconsciously or unconsciously. So when I realized that everything is ultimately related to the law of karma, and everything is in my own hands, and I need not blame anybody. I need not blame my parents that I got bad genes. My father had diabetes, and my 4 uncles had diabetes, and my maternal uncle had diabetes. So that makes me highly vulnerable. But if I curse my genes, and then I will not reach anywhere. The blame game doesn't take me anywhere. So I was attracted to develop my own program. And then I was also very curious to know why a seemingly normal and highly intelligent person does those things which are harmful. Who will harm himself? Only a person who is inebriated. So under the effect of alcohol, lots of people will harm themselves.
True.
So is the whole humanity under some sort of an
Substance.
alcohol impact? So yes, they are. And that alcohol is knowledge.
Fixed
That
knowledge, a
alcohol
fixed
is
concept.
knowledge. Because
True.
you know that you know. And that is actually, we will discuss it further, that ego is one of the most fundamental human problems and the most fundamental human diseases. So what is ego? So, I mean, ego is at three levels. One is that dirty ego. The dirty ego, which anybody can recognize. So somebody gets a position or some fame or some lot of wealth, and then he starts behaving differently to people. And
Highest
nobody
level of ego. That's the highest level of ego.
highest level and most common level of ego.
Visible.
The second level of ego, which people don't realize, is knowledge. Knowledge. I know this. If you know this, then it will kill you. And the third level of ego is the ego of self identity, that I am Dr. Vipin Mishra. No, it is an illusion. I'm not Dr. Vipin Mishra. It's just an illusion. So all human beings are like waves of the ocean. There's an ocean of consciousness. There's an ocean of consciousness, and we are all waves of that ocean. So if your mind is stilled and it is very calm and quiet, then for the first time, the wave can realize that it is indeed the ocean. When wave realizes that it is indeed the ocean, then the behavior of the person changes dramatically. Then there is a gestalt change in your personality and your actions and your behavior.
Wow.
Then you're not offended by others. Why you should be offended by others? Because you are a complete entity. The ocean is complete within itself. The waves are always having rivalry with other waves, and some tsunamis having a great sense of ego, that they are very highly placed.
They are all H2O at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, they are all H2O. H2O, so we'll talk about that. So there's a Indian philosophy, and very powerful Indian philosophy of Advait. Advait means it is all made up of one element. Everything. So what is Vipin Mishra? The same thing is his stone. The stone is also the same thing as Vipin Mishra. No difference. So it is just one pulsating field of vibration, and that pulsating field of vibration creates everything. It is the basic energy of consciousness, and so that keeps on mutating, that keeps on changing forms. And so it's the same energy in animals and same energy in humans, same energy in the rivers and the clouds and the rains and the mountains and the stones. Everything is made up of the same energy. So there are lots of philosophies in the Indian system, but this philosophy impresses me most. So this is the philosophy of Advait, or non-dual philosophy. So there are dual philosophies also. The dual philosophies. So it all depends on how your mind works, because dual philosophies are easier to understand. So when you are interacting with the other person, so it is easier to understand that the other person is the other entity and I'm a different entity.
This is beautiful.
But yes, my mind works differently. So I go much deeper and to the H2O level.
Yeah,
so
we are here to explore.
At the
definitely.
H2O level, the ocean and the rains and the glaciers, everything is the same. They are like different manifestations of one H2O molecule.
True. This is so amazing. Dr. Vipin Mishra, just one I mean, I'm not feeling like ending this up, to be honest, and we will have definitely many more shows coming up. But just one takeaway from this entire session, just one takeaway for our audience from today's session, what will be that?
I think the journey starts with altering your food. If you're really interested in altering your destiny, then the first thing to start with is altering your food. Don't eat just anything that comes your way. Decide what you have to eat. But yes, I mean the discussion on food is
We will
very
discuss in
detailed.
detail. Yes.
So they told you in the beginning, I don't believe in this healthy food and unhealthy food. This is all industry driven. It's all
Right.
industry driven.
We will
So
dig in the details.
yeah. So industry is deciding everything which is happening in the world. Industry is the biggest power, and the second biggest is the politicians' power, and the third is the military. But the industry controls everything.
Right. We will discuss in detail about
Sure,
this one.
sure.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much once again. This is so amazing, and I'm very excited for our upcoming podcast
It was
as
my
well.
pleasure.
Thank you
My
so
pleasure,
much, Dr.
madam.
Mishra.
Thank you very much.
Med Talks by Dr. Anitha, making medicine more human.